Greetings and happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to one and to all. Happy weekend. Perhaps it is Sunday, depending upon where you are on the globe. As I like to open, please give yourselves a round of applause for making it through this week and to another day, because we do know in life that is not the case for many. That being said, prayerfully, everyone is enjoying this brand new day, this picturesque and 80-degree, at least in my neck of the woods, day that you're enjoying yourselves, your family, or maybe just some me time. We all know that time is precious and something that we cannot get back. So please spend it wisely and make sure, and this is just for those with eyes to see and ears to hear, that at the end of the day, you can look at yourself and say, I did something good. I did or said something that may have given someone hope, because we don't know what each other is going through. Some people share, and even with the sharing that they do, we still don't know, and we aren't really supposed to know what many people are going through. But trust and believe, in these times that we're living, there's a struggle, whether it be minuscule to some, others it may be monumental. So please be mindful of others and keep them uplifted the best way you know how. So, this is a continuation of a story I've been looking into in reference to the beautiful inkster teen, London Thomas, who, after being dropped off at her boyfriend's house on April 5th, was found 3 weeks later in an SUV at a home where neighbors said this alleged SUV had been sitting for a couple of weeks. Her grandmother and those who knew her loved her and are devastated, and they want answers and justice for 17-year-old London Thomas. Keep in mind, as I mentioned when I first started speaking about this story, that her boyfriend is 23. Two people at the time were arrested, and one of the suspects, they've been released, at least for now. And you can see a quick little snippet here. A man named as a suspect in the case was released from police custody. Now, this is still going on, but the big news, the update is a 48-year-old Clawson woman was arraigned Friday on a charge of lying to FBI agents who are investigating the unaliving of 17-year-old London Thomas, according to Wayne County prosecutors. And again, this is a photo of the beautiful London Thomas. And this here is a photo of Charla Pendergrass of Clawson, who again was arraigned on Friday on a charge of lying to FBI. Or some people have put in some stories. That is why I say always do your thorough, meticulous, independent research, because things change often. So you want to have the most recent information as possible. But again, 48-year-old Charla Rashida Pendergrass, 48 years old, was arraigned on Friday. And for those of you who may not know what arraigned is, I'm sure most people do, but arraignment is just your initial court appearance for a person or persons that have been accused of a crime. They are standing in front of a judge where they are formally informed of what their charges are in. They are afforded an opportunity to give a plea. Now, lying to a police officer or any law enforcement officer during a investigation, especially this type of investigation, is a felony, and the penalty could be, well, the maximum penalty, let me run that back, is up to 4 years in prison. Here's another photo of Charla Rashida Pendergrass. Now, I want you all to pay attention to this photograph. And I have mentioned this before, and it's an old adage, but I find truth in this adage or saying or colloquialism, whatever label you would like to place on it. But they say that the eyes are the window to the soul. And yes, I understand you may not want to be in the mood to take a glamour shot when you're being booked and processed. That does not negate what your eyes are saying to people. And from my optics, my just looking, and I'm not looking at the shape, I'm not looking at the color, I'm looking at just what I see as being cold and aloof. And that's really sad because you would think, and again, I could be off because these days and times, and I'm going to do a live later once I get all my thoughts together on this, but you would think that women, the nurturers, the empaths, and yes, I understand not all are empaths, and I also understand that there are plenty women with evil spirits within. But it's just difficult coming from the era in which I grew up to know that you have women out here at that age, 48, who has no scruples, who would honestly believe that any lie told, especially to law enforcement, would be discovered sooner or later. Again, 17-year-old London Thomas, as I sit here and reflect, during this time of year, girls, young girls, London's age, preparing for prom, perhaps taking tests to get ready for the workforce. At least I know that's what I was doing at that age. I had taken the civil service exam. I had my job lined up after I graduated high school. still have my old prom dresses, junior and senior. My junior was a white dress, and my senior was a beautiful pink dress. These are the things that young people, most young people, many young people, maybe some young people are excited about. Thinking about their future, planning their future. And it's unfortunate that her young life, her light was dimmed. And again, I want to bring to your attention that she was 17 years old, last seen after she was dropped off at her 23-year-old boyfriend's house. But there's a little problem that I find, and many others have. She wasn't reported missing until 3 days later. And according to reports, from the dates April 5th through April 24th, it is said that Charla Pendergrass had been dishonest and failed to tell the truth during this investigation. Well, what does that mean? What did she lie about? What was the motive of the lies? What was the scope of lies? Was it to cover whomever carried out this heinous act of taking the life of this young, vibrant young lady? Were there others involved? As I mentioned, this area is not that large, so I'm pretty sure someone knew or knows or saw something. As I mentioned, her grandmother is devastated, and she actually stated, and you can go and Google this, that she spoke to Charla Pendergrass. I want to be clear. The grandmother stated that she actually spoke to Charla Pendergrass, who it appears has some type of connection to the home in which this alleged white SUV was found. And according to the grandmother, again, this is just going by reports, that she said, oh, she had already left. The grandmother said she knew then that Charlotte Pendergrass wasn't telling the truth. This is still an ongoing story, a heartbreaking story, because as I mentioned, there are so many young people going missing. And unfortunately, because of certain family dynamics, some things may not seem to be off or wrong, but I have to say, you had to be very, very, very careful with whom you trust, not only with your young people, but with our elders who may need assistance. And that's a whole nother topic. I did a live on that a couple of years ago, and I think because of something I actually observed yesterday, I may revisit that topic about what goes on with these people that we entrust with our elders. But this is the latest in the London Thomas case. A woman, 48 years old, Charla Pendergrass, 48 years old, of Clawson, was arraigned Friday on a charge of lying to the FBI during this investigation. Now, I do know from reports that a $50,000 bond was set. If she meets that, she would be released and would be subject to wearing a GPS. Now, we've heard stories about how that goes many, many times, but I'm just curious. And of course, I'm going to do a little bit digging, but I'm going to leave all of that to the federales. I'm just giving you an update and how this twist that the suspect, whom at first I thought the both were men, it ended up being a woman. Now, during the first report that I broadcast, it was said that the home of which the white SUV was found, there was a single mother of 3 children. Now, is this the mother of the 3 children? It does not say, so I cannot speculate, nor will I. But as I said, what was the motivation? What were you thinking by lying to members of the law enforcement? It will, Charla Pendergrass, come out in the wash. I can guarantee you that. Justice for London Thomas and to her family. Thank you to everyone who has been engaging. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the new people that come by just to say hello. Thank you to the love gifts. I appreciate those. And congratulations to the new members. You may not type in the chat, and it's okay. People have their reasons for doing or choosing to do what they like, or what they may not feel comfortable with. Again, I understand and harbor absolutely no resentment whatsoever. But I'd like to thank you too for listening enough that you were able to receive gifted memberships. So, with that, everyone, enjoy your Saturday. Again, perhaps Sunday, depending upon where you are on the globe. And always remember, please, especially this time of year, be safe, be well, and you know the rest by now. Be healthier. Until next video, bye bye for now. Oh, I forgot. If you like this video, please let me know by giving it a big thumbs up, and any comments you may have in this new update to know that a woman is possibly involved in the unaliving of 17-year-old London Thomas. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to this short broadcast. Thank you.